Okay, one more chronograph test. 9mm pistol versus carbine. This time with some intentionally extra hot loads. The hottest loads I could find that I still had any left of. 2 Buffalo Bore and 2 Underwood. The first is Buffalo Bore's 124 grain. There we are. It's a plus P plus. They call it their penetrator load. It's a full metal jacket flat point. With a claimed velocity of 1300, which is, that's fast for a 124 grain, but it's not smoking fast. And their plus P plus 95 grain tack XP load. It's a solid copper hollow point, lightweight 95 grain. If nothing else, Buffalo Bore gets points for the largest box used for packing 20 rounds of 9mm in the history of the planet. The thing's the size of a box of 12 gauge shells, and it's 20 rounds of 9mm. Bless their hearts. They must have got a deal on that size box. The second one is the plus P plus version of one I tried the plus P version of. The Underwood Xtreme Defender 90 grainer. I tried the plus P and it did pretty good. Out of curiosity, I have one box of this plus P plus, so I'm going to try them. They claim 1550 out of a pistol. This is a plus P Xtreme Defender, but it's only 68 grain. Again, solid copper Xtreme Defender, what a lot of folks call the Phillips screwdriver bullet. But being solid copper, it can tolerate high velocities better than a standard construction bullet, typically anyway. So let's jump right into it here. Get you set up. Okay, that 1682 is left over from testing the lights on the chronograph. Hopefully avoid some of these errors we've been having. Okay, first up, Buffalo Bore 124 plus P plus penetrator out of the Glock 19. 1265. 1263. Not a barn burner velocity wise, but the 125 grain full metal jacket flat point. It's basically a semi-auto version of a semi-wad cutter. So now the same load, the 124 Buffalo Bore plus P plus penetrator out of the carbine. 1631. And I did not enter those. Okay. 1631 for the first shot. 1613 for the second shot. Okay, now the Barnes Tac XP out of the Glock 19, a plus P plus 95 grainer. 1580 and 1539. I am curious to see what this does out of the carbine. Running that kind of velocity out of the little Glock 19. Okay. Again, the Barnes 95 grain Tac XP plus P plus, this time out of the carbine. 1848, okay. an 1857. Okay. Underwood. This time the Plus P Plus version of their 90 grain Xtreme Defender from the Glock 19. 1529. 1542. Okay, the Plus P Plus. I'm sorry. Yeah, Plus P Plus 90 grain Xtreme Defender. Out of the carbine. $18.38. $18.78. Okay, last load. This one ought to be a little screamer. It's a Plus P, not a Plus P Plus, but it's only 68 grains. The Underwood Solid Copper Xtreme Defender. $18.30 and $18.46. It's hard to do this with gloves on. It's just stinking cold out today. 1846. Okay. That thing hitting 18 and change out of the pistol. I'm genuinely curious. I guess I've said that before. What he'll do out of the carbine. Okay, the Underwood 68 grain. Plus P. Sorry about the sun, you know. Plus P 68 grain Xtreme Defender out of the carbine this time. 2310. Of course. Enter that 2310 before I forget it. $22.58. Okay. May have to drop him down. Well, there you go right there. Okay. Man, look at the numbers on some of those. Some of them are not real surprises, but from the Buffalo Bore 124 penetrator, I really expected higher numbers out of that, out of the pistol at least. It's only, I mean, it's 124 grain, but at Plus P Plus, I would have expected higher. But, you know, that's what they said, and that's what we got. So, 440 foot-pounds at 1265 feet per second out of the pistol. 724 out of the rifle. Now, that is a whole bunch of energy for a 9mm. 1600 plus feet per second out of a 124 grain bullet. The 95 Barnes TAC XP, again, that's another Plus P Plus. This is the only, one of the only 3 loads who I tested several years ago that from a carbine, from the old Camp 9, actually penetrated a 3A vest. There was 3 loads, 2 of which were TAC XP. One was Barnes, and I forget who loaded the other one. And I don't remember what the other load was, so I don't want to say and be wrong. But I tested 7 different loads through a 3A vest from the 9mm carbine several years ago. And that 95 grain, same box of ammo in fact, was the one of 3 that actually fully penetrated a level 3A vest, which is the heaviest non-rifle rated body armor you're going to find. That is impressive. 1,852 feet per second. Again, we're into 41 Magnum power here with a solid copper bullet. The Plus P Plus 90 grain Xtreme Defender, 1,535 feet per second, 471 foot-pounds. That's good for a 9mm, but it's not unusual for a 9mm to hit in the mid-4s with a good hot heavy load. Out of the rifle, it did okay. Well, better than okay. 1,838 feet per second. So that's a big part of why I'm keeping the chronograph on screen. I used to tell people these numbers, and I could tell they just didn't believe me, and just out of politeness weren't calling me a liar to my face. But you see it right here. 1,800. Oh, I entered one of those wrong. We got a 1,858 average. I typed in a little extra character there. Okay, so 689 foot-pounds of energy. That's a whole bunch for a 9mm. The 68 Plus P, obviously you're getting a whole bunch of velocity from that, but that's up to each person to decide if they're going to trust a bullet that light from a 9mm. You know, that's a heavy bullet for a 223, but a 9mm's got such a bigger profile, you lose a lot of sectional density and penetration going to that lighter bullet in a 35 caliber instead of a 22 caliber like an AR shoots. But still, we're talking 2,284 feet per second from the rifle, 1,800 and change out of the pistol. So that is very, very impressive in my opinion. Get over 2,000 feet per second with a solid copper bullet that in the few tests I've seen where they actually put it into gel retains its mass. It doesn't fragment. So that would really be worth doing some gel tests out of a carbine with if I ever lay my hands on some gel. So anyway, I still have 3 more loads to do in 9mm and half a dozen or so to do in 357 and 38 I want to do. Appreciate it and hope this is useful to somebody.